Welcome to the Hamty Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Paulo Navarro. Today is Thursday, November 15, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at negative 1,070. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at negative 571. We had only one 52-week high for the S&P 500 and 28 new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. Very negative action here on the market internals. For the volatility, 450,000 contracts traded on the VIX today, with 47 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar-weighted put-call ratio in November, we saw a 0.68 reading with 31% of the total premiums paid, and in December, a 0.8 reading with 32% of the total premiums paid. Both of them were neutral readings. In January, a 0.47, which is bearish, with 20% of the total premiums paid. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. We were down 2 handles for the day. We were up, we were down, we moved to all the places, but basically we finished unchanged. Pretty important, we were selling off quite a bit, and then in the end we just started rallying into the close, which was kind of positive, but still we ended lower, which is not good here for the market overall. If we go to our moving averages chart, we talked about this 1355, 1353 level. So it's important, we're going to see what happens. We do not want to start to get long before we see some type of a bounce. But this area looks pretty good for a bounce here. Maybe short term go to 1380. Test that 200-day moving average up on the upside and see what happens from there. That's going to be important. I like these levels a lot here. But we've been selling quite a lot daily. Every time we go higher, the market starts going lower, and we finished up ending low for the day, which is not positive here for the market overall. Going for our SPY chart here, we have it 135.70. We called 135. That's pretty close here, and because the low was, as you can see here, today's low was 135.18. So pretty much in lines here. We want to get a rally to 138.40, 138. Pretty good bounce size here, but does not change the overall trend. The overall trend will continue to be to the downside. Either if we start getting long here to go for a target of the 200-day moving average, the trend line will continue to go to the upside. We have a long way to break that trend line that's going lower. So keep an eye on that. That would be pretty short term, a bounce, get out, and then look for another trade. Let's go here for our Qs. Here we have the daily chart for the Q 6203. We met our first target, which was 62. Pretty nice. We're still looking for lower prices. 60 is gonna be our next level. Maybe we're gonna try to get a bounce here to the 63.80 level. That's the 10-day moving average. Don't think that's weird or that the trend is changing. Pretty orderly selling here on the Qs, nothing dramatically. We were down today 0.34%. Nothing makes us believe that we're gonna change trend here. We're looking for 60, so any type of rally to 63.80, even 64.80 would be a good opportunity to start getting shorter and shorter to our 60 target. Here we have our weekly level support, pivot, and resistance, and we're looking for 61.25. That's our next lower level. On the upside, maybe look for weekly pivot 64.26. That's too far on the upside. That's gonna be hard to get there, over 2% for tomorrow. So let's look maybe to getting just above it, 63, 63.50. That would be a pretty good bounce here. And would be nice if we could see that 60 level after that we've been talking about. On the IWM chart here we have another lower low. We talked about this yesterday. We're making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows here. Again, 76.80. We passed our first target here. As you can see it here, this was our target. We touched it today. Pretty good targeting here. Our first target is met. This means we could start seeing some type of a bounce here. Maybe look for the 79 level, even 79.60. This chart looks pretty bearish, but the slope's getting too negative. So maybe try to look for a bounce and then shorter to our next target 73, 72. So that's gonna be the plan here. Our first target met, take it out, and start to see somewhat of a bounce maybe for the 79 level. We're quite sold off here, so try to get something on the upside if you can here for the IWM. Going to our support, pivot, and resistance, here we have it. We are now at weekly support number 2. That's quite low here given the big ranges we have. Next target 7404, we might have that, but as I've been talking, we wanted 2 more days of selling. That was yesterday and today. Today is the third one. We had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday. So that's gonna be important. Watch here maybe for starting a bounce. That's gonna be the trend here. Maybe watch for a bounce. We already played the downside the last couple of weeks. So now let's play maybe a bounce. Here we have the daily chart for GLD. You can see here we have a big down day, 0.6% for the day, and looks like very interesting here. We did close at the 10-day moving average, but as you can see here, the shorter term range is broken. This uptrend trend line, it was pretty steep, but that was the trend here. We're breaking it to the downside. Looks like that 55-day moving average or this blue line we have here again acted as some type of support resistance. Very hard to break. It happened also here, and look what happens after. We bounced at the 200. We couldn't break the 55 again, and now we're trying to turn lower. Keep an eye on gold. I would be watching here instead of playing it. Maybe if we get to the 6160, a 200-day moving average, maybe that's gonna be a better entry here. But from here on, it's maybe looking and watching. The only entry here would be above the 55-day moving average, which is at around 168.27. Above it, that would be a breakout, and I would be looking for 174s. That's what we're looking here on GLD. Let's go for SLB. Here we have SLB, pretty much the same chart, but one thing stands different. You could see this upward trend line. It is still holding. 20-day moving average still holding. That's a different story. We were down only 0.25%. We want to break the 55-day moving average at 32.05. That's important. But again, as you can see here, we want to start breaking that. If you're not long now, maybe wait until a breakout. And if you're not short, wait until we break that to the downside and even break the 200-day moving average. If you're on the sidelines, stay there until a break below 30, and if you're on the sidelines, stay above a break above 32.05. That's the game plan here on SLB. Here we have the daily chart for the VIX. We were basically flat today. We're still hanging above this 200-day moving average, which is also flat. So as I said yesterday, we're gonna watch for a breakout or breakdown. I want to see either below 16 or above 19 or 20. Above 20, it's gonna be a good level, or below 16. If not, we're just playing around up and down with this 200-day moving average. So just wait for the VIX, wait for the signal, and then we'll come into the market. VIX is not giving any signal right now. Yesterday we talked about the McClellan oscillator. Here we have it, negative 272. That's a pretty big number. We're ready for a pull up. We don't know. Ready for a bounce? Not yet. We may see 300, maybe 330, but we're getting pretty close here. Maybe starting to scale in into some longs. Don't go all in because nobody knows what's gonna happen. Scaling in, knowing your targets, knowing what to look at. But we are pretty oversold short term. Watch at this, negative 272. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsley Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino at the number listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.